What's up, y'all? It's your boy C coming back at you with another episode of C's Retro Garage. Here, as usual, from outer space in the free state of Florida. Gonna do a little bit of work on the Camaro over here, a 2010 Chevrolet Camaro. We are going to call this Differential Drain and Fill 201. Stick around. Now, why is this differential drain and fill 201? Well, for those of you who never went to college, or for those of you who did go to college but dropped out, even for idiots like me who went to college and only had like a few credits left and dropped out anyway, or if you simply forgot, you remember the courses were numbered 101, 201, 301. Now, differential 001, for those who don't recall, 001 is the remedial. Kind of like when you were in regular old school, and I'm not going to call you dumb or stupid, that's not what I do. Excuse me as I fix Christina here. You all say hi to Christina. 001 was the remedial. It means you just weren't good enough to, or you didn't get the right placement, exam score. So I equate that to differential 001 being you paid somebody to do this shit for you. At C's Retro Garage, we don't believe in that shit. At least while you still have your hands and your feet that God gave you to do the job yourself, if it is within your means to do so. Differential 001 would be you paid somebody to do it for you. You went to like a Jiffy Lube or whatever place and they drained and filled it for you. That's the remedial. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're handicapped, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're injured, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with that if you Mormon with 4 wives and 27 kids, or Muslim, 4 wives and 27 kids, and you just don't have time. Although I know that one of my best friends is Muslim, and if I was in his shoes, I'd be doing like him and teaching his kid to do this shit for you. So that's how that works. But that's the only excuse. Because you don't want to is a bad excuse, in my opinion, to not do anything or not try anything or not learn how to do it because you're a pussy, straight up pussy. I would accept more that I'm too busy working. You might work 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week. By all means, then do it. But you work a 40-hour-a-week job. You're healthy. You're able. You're capable. This is something your ass should do and needs to do. That's not the most important. What I would do is I would recommend going by the service manual. Do as the service manual says. This is differential 201. The reason I called it 201 a little bit more advanced than the 101, because 101 would be use the machine to do it for you. So in other words, you're getting under it and you get the machine. Now I got the machine. I'm not going to use the machine for 2 reasons. This is easy enough that you don't need the machine doing it. 201. Now what's 201 is the standard drain and fill. Open the fill plug, open the drain plug, let it drain, close the drain plug, fill it back. Simple. 301 is for old school cars that didn't have drain and fill plugs and you had to remove the entire case. I don't have a car that has that type of differential, so I can't do it on mine. I'd have to find someone else's to do it to. But that's okay. Doesn't matter. 101 is if you have like a siphon. tank or hose, which I do have, and I may actually do one for the oil changes, just for those that have no idea. You might say that's cheating. No, because I did the entire 301 video already. I just didn't give it a course number. So that would be the 101, and believe me, once you do it, you won't do it any other way. So I'm gonna grab the necessary tools, get under the car, have a look, and we'll get started. Alright, so we are now under the car, and this is the differential. For those of you who don't know, it basically turns your wheels. You can see the exhaust pipes, which, man, I could definitely use. They could use a cleaning here. And we are on the driver's side. If you look here, this is the drain plug. Let me focus a little bit here. I don't know how well you can see it this way. I'll try to get a better shot of it. This here is the drain plug. Believe it or not, the drain plug and the fill plug, which is right there, I would say use a little common sense, but then again, common sense is not that common. The fill plug is higher than the drain plug. That's how you would tell. If you look, GM warns you, they put SYN for synthetic. Make sure you're using synthetic fluid. In the case of the Camaro, it is 7590 is what you're using. What's the letter in the middle? If somebody can recall, I believe it's W75 Whiskey 90. Make sure you're using the correct differential fluid for your vehicle, synthetic. And we are going to, first things first, I'm going to actually just, see there's a little bit of surface rust here and here. That's because these plugs are probably metal or steel and they're magnetic on the inside. This is aluminum, hence you have no corrosion. Not that aluminum can corrode, but it takes usually a little bit of damage before it can corrode. So I'm going to spray these just with a little bit of lubricant to loosen them up a little bit easier. Let them sit there. And it is, I would recommend always removing the fill plug first. And the reason being is, worst case scenario, you remove the drain plug and then something happens to the fill plug. Like you thread it and you can't get it off. Now you're in a world of crap. Because even with the pump, you're not going to be able to fill this through this side. But I will show you what I was talking about as far as doing this drain and fill 101. Just a second here. Ta-da! This pump here, I keep it in the box. It's rarely ever used. It's used strictly for fluids. You could have a look at them. Okay. This guy here, what you would do, it's kind of the same idea, but this one is used to siphon. So you have your hose, which connects here, and you have your different attachments right here. This is going to be through dipsticks. This hose here would be kind of like what you would use for the differential, and you would attach them to here. You basically take this guy, pump it up. Once you turn that air, it sucks all the fluid out. If you're going to use this, at this point, you don't even need to open the fill plug. You just need to be able to get this hose right here in where you can feel it hitting the bottom back of the differential. And let me pull it out here so you can see what it looks like. Okay. This is through dipsticks. This is for old school trannies and as in transmissions, not new school trannies. And this is also oil dipsticks, which is going to be, that would be oil change, drain and fill 101, and then this one would be pretty much for everything else. You can use this for the transmission as well. So you get this guy in there, a few pumps of here, sucks it all out until it can't suck no more, and then you use the regular hand pump to pump it right back in. They do make a pneumatic version of this where you can either do it manually or you can use the air compressor, and it does the work for you. I just went with this one because it's a lot cheaper, but also I want to be able to control it. When you're using the compressor, sometimes you may not be able to control it. The only thing I dislike about this one, some of them do, is you can see it does have a line here, a bit of a measurement. Who the fuck knows what this is? I'm going to speculate that this is half a gallon, 1 gallon, gallon and a half, simply because this is a gallon and a half container. I'm a firm believer you put in what you take out, even with the drain and fill. The difference is with the differential, it's not as important. It is simply filling it until it starts to drip out through the fill plug. Once it starts to drip out, you're good to go. But this is what I was talking about. Maybe one day I'll use this for something. You can see how much easier this makes your life. Put it to you this way: for oil changes, if it's a new school car with the air filter on top, you'll never have to get under the car again, ever, to drain. So that's as far as the tool. Now, as far as the diff, all we need is just the standard bucket to collect shit. We'll let me go spray them real quick, and then we'll get going with that. Alright, these are going to be pretty much all the tools you're going to need. You need a torque wrench, because you're going to have to torque it back to 29 foot-pounds of torque. Here's your synthetic 75W90 differential fluid. As you can see here, this is the good shit. Okay, a regular socket wrench to make your life easier. Extensions, short or long, whichever makes your life easier. This is the pump. Okay, these baby hoses will just be to get this all the way to the bottom. Alright, this has been sitting long enough. No need to bore you with unscrewing and screwing in. I'll go ahead and pull the plugs out, and once we're ready to fill, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we are done draining. You can see it's got a drip, drip, drip. And one little thing I wanted to show. Now, it depends who you ask. This is normal. See if I can focus here. This is the drain plug. And this is the fill plug over here. Yeah, they're magnetic, but those are metal shavings. Pay attention when you take these off. They have little rubbery gaskets. I'm going to just put it right back on, torque it to spec, and then now go ahead and fill it right back up. Alright, hopefully you can see now. I've gone ahead and I put the drain plug back in and, torque this. I go ahead and just round it off. I torqued it to 30 foot-pounds. Here is the fill plug. This is the plug holding in place. This is the pump. And I transferred it to this milk container simply because, well, this pump didn't fit in the container. But all you really got to do at this point is just start pumping. You see the fluid going in. Let it do its thing. When it starts peeing over there on that side, you're done. Put your plug back on, drop your car. It is literally as simple as that. You just want to check. You see I got a little bit of a crease there on the hose. So you want to speed it up. You don't see any peeing. I might just reposition the hose, so it goes around the exhaust to make it a little more straighter. But once that starts peeing, you're pretty much done. Like I said, here, let me adjust it there. Oh, doesn't want to do it, huh? Okay, that's fine. This one just happens to have a lovely clip, so I could just come around this way and do it. bear with me here because I only have the one hand I'm working with. Where's that damn hole? There it is. Alright, there it is. So it's secure. Hose is straight. Start pumping away. According to the service manual, as you can see there, according to the service manual, it is 1 quart. Remember, put in what you take out. So once it starts dripping, that's when you stop. Now, just for shits and giggles, there is a way you can double check your work. There's going to be a little bit of fluid that's left. It's not a whole lot. It's in the hose. It's probably a couple of ounces. It started peeing before then. Remember, take out what you put in. You can double check your work by simply putting the old fluid back in here and seeing how full it is. You subtract, or I should say you add what you got left in here to that. I'm not saying to do it. Obviously this is good fluid, you want to keep it. You never, just because you never know. But you add what's in here to that, and it should give you exactly that 1 quart. And that's just one way to double check your work and make sure it's done right. And that's all there is to it, folks. It's that simple. Then just take your jack stand off, take the chuck off, drop your car, start her up, go for a little drive around the block. Nothing fancy, nothing quick, just to get the fluid up and go on the new stuff. As you can see, that was it. I checked the bottle. The bottle was about that much short, which is about what was inside of the milk container. That's it. It's all done. And that's how you do a differential fluid change 201. So, once again, thank you for burning the midnight oil with us here at C's Retro Garage. I always like to remind everybody to stay safe, be kind one to another, and peace out. And I'll catch you on the next one.